Salam alaikum, Peter. Great to see you.
Walaikum salam. How you doing, man? Great to be back with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for sponsoring. This first year of the Global Muslim Social and Spiritual Impact Forum. We're super excited to have Gould Studios as one of our sponsors, and just I wanted to talk to you about what got you excited about this conference.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Well, it's really the least we can do. I mean, I just appreciate your efforts in leading the space. There's so much happening on the ground in many different pockets, and I think many of the brands and organizations and teams and people that you're kind of highlighting through these awards and this effort need a lot more recognition. So, for us as a team, as a studio, we just want to support that space, support event like this, and just happy to see the growth and the exciting developments, flourishing across the globe, really. So, very happy to support it and contribute.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. And that's really when we talk about brand shifting and the work that we do within design studios, production studios. I really feel like that's why we created this conference, right? Because this work, creating beauty in our world, is what is ultimately shifting the narratives out Muslim. So can you talk just touch a bit on how long you've been building your studio for? I saw your mashallah new studio in Sydney that you all just moved into recently, correct? So just talk a bit about your journey.
Yeah, thanks so much. Well, look, really, design is this timeless idea of change and transformation. Humans have tried to do it forever, and in our, kind of contemporary experience of that, it's solving problems. For a lot of people, it's their daily digitally enabled experience. So our design team, alhamdulillah, has really been around it's actually coming towards 20 years. Although in those first few years, it was pretty much freelancing. But really, in the last sort of 5-10 years, alhamdulillah, we've had such a fortunate and blessed journey, being able to work with brands that we love, people we align with at a heart level, and also develop some products that have gone really well. That again, try to bring, I guess, some of the things we want to see, the change we want to see. That I guess I kind of think of it as spiritually aligned or heart centered design work. And that's thinking about brands, products, organizations that are doing this great work. How can we support them through design? How we help them design those experiences, the communication, sometimes the product, physical or digital. And alhamdulillah, now we have a team of around 15 people globally. And yeah, it's been great being able to work on some of these things. You mentioned the change. So yeah, this year, I mean, design is always in change, inshallah, on ourselves, but definitely in how we kind of communicate and connect with people around us. I think this year was quite transformational for us as well. So we had a couple of years journey where we were focused heavily on products. So that you mentioned, Salam Sisters, 5 pillars, building these brands at Alhamdulillah were really well received. So that lives on through Zalige, which Zalige is focusing on products, and that's still really, I consider, in a startup phase. But the first chapter of that had a lot of success, but also a lot of learning. And so we're still the design team that helps build and support those products that will keep growing next year. But day to day, our Gould Studio team is really working with clients, and they're in the US, but they're in a number of places across the globe. And excuse me, it's really about problem solving through design and spending a bit of time on research, strategy, understanding users, and what we can design for to develop these great experiences.
So yeah, let's start there. I mean, because yeah, there's so much to unpack, right? I think that what's unique. So this year you went in this transition where you, of course, had been Peter Gould Studios for some time, and then you were Zalige. You came under the Zalige banner for a few years. And what's amazing about the work you did with Zalige is I think you're one of the proof points of really trying to launch a global Muslim product in a like across markets. My daughters love the Salam Sisters dolls. I think they're, from a product perspective, the design work you did, the app that you guys created that has the augmented reality components. If people don't realize the depth of what you've created with Salam Sisters, I think you all really need to check it out, especially if you have girls. So can you talk just a bit more about what that looked like in terms of launching a global product?
Yeah, thanks, and I'm glad that I'm fortunate that when I have calls and our team bumps into people, if they do have daughters, they often mention that joy, and that's really the original intention. Alhamdulillah, I have two daughters, and they were I guess day to day seeing their experience with other dolls, other toys, and thinking about, well, okay, what are some of the things we need to be designing for to help inspire and empower them through play, through the language of the day, the interface of the day, which is toys, games, digital experiences. That is where people are. That's where a lot of our lives are. Whether we try and avoid that or not, we're in that environment daily. So Salam Sisters really came from a place as how do we build this beautiful range that has the right kind of message, but is this also just fun, well-designed, crafted, and thoughtful? So that started from a place of, originally it was an app idea, and we did a little bit of kind of a pilot experiment a few years back. Some good things about it, but we knew that we really needed to get some funding and scale this into it properly. And alhamdulillah, we were able to do that, and it was quite an incredible journey from really from about 2017 to 2018, that kind of 2-year period. We pretty much shifted our entire design team focus just on this idea of building these couple of consumer brands. We were able to kind of get them off the ground, get distribution and sell out in places like Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, there in the US. And it was very ambitious. And I think we learned a lot of things that, in the startup phase, you can always improve on next time. So COVID hit us a little differently with the production and a lot of the challenges. So we kind of took it as a time to, although there's demand and a lot of love and regular, regular pictures and updates we get from different parents, where is Salam Sisters in their world, inshallah next year being able to reboot that in a different way and finding the right models for that. So it was a great experience, and I hopefully, like you said, a sign of more brands coming through the space that use the right interface for people to align their spiritual aspirations, the values they want to impart, this wholesomeness into their own families, but designed really well to deliver that, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. No, we'd love to see it taken to the next level. And I know it was difficult to get the dolls here in the U.S. for a little while because they were selling out. So, mashallah, much respect to you all to really launch a product at that scale. What, in terms of, we know the difficulties of this year. Of course, you have a different experience in Australia. You all working there together in the studio for some time now. Mashallah, you have a government that's functional, unlike ours. You would hope. Talk about some of the campaigns that you all did this year. I know you did a lot of amazing work with Launch Good. It was really cool to see that collaboration take off as Launch Good continues to grow into this gigantic, mashallah, global brand. And then also, I love the work you did for Ummah for Earth, and I'll show the video for that at the end of this segment.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. It was really a great look, this year for everyone was just an opportunity for transformation, really. It's been the conversation we've all been having for really the last, almost coming up to 12 months now. And alhamdulillah, we were affected early on, like everyone else, especially in design consulting. Sometimes we're not high priority compared to basic needs and obviously healthcare and research. And so, some of the bigger, more open innovation type projects we had, kind of had to quickly pause. Luckily, this was actually an opportune moment for us to kind of, reflect and transform and kind of relaunch ourselves with the things that we want to focus more on. And what that led to is a much deeper engagement with Launch Good, who we've been longtime design partners for, and I think have had some great success with, being able to help them see them grow and scale, working a lot on their digital product, their UX, their communication, their campaigns, and they've seen really excellent growth. So, we've been able to sort of grow with them and build a bit of capability with them. Also, and I think, like you said, a great example of what can be, inshallah, that's really an example of, just being a hub for almost like the pulse of this global community that's creative, that's connected, that's empowered, that has high aspirations, that's generous, that's beautiful. I think we're going to see more of that. So Launch Good, I always think of as a good example there of getting it right. And they've got a long way to, a lot more to do as well, like a lot of great things coming next year, inshallah, with them. And thanks, the other campaign, another one that does come to mind that was a highlight, was working with Greenpeace to develop their Ummah for Earth campaign kind of movement, which connects. Really, it's all about creating more awareness among Muslim audiences and communities with climate change, and understanding the direct kind of messaging there and communication we can design to just encourage that sharing and awareness of the issues, which isn't sadly always there across parts of our global community. So that was great. We got great feedback on that as well, and that will start unfolding more as well into the new year, inshallah.
Yeah, mashallah. I mean, it's exciting to have a client like Greenpeace, where maybe, social justice oriented brands had always kind of taken the secular perspective, but now to see, them approach you and really understand that if Muslims are 1/4 of humanity, we have to talk about climate change amongst Muslims, and what better company to work with than you all on rolling something out here. Let's play that video real quick now so everyone can get a glimpse of it. Yeah, really great. Did you all produce that in-house as well, the video?
Yeah, everything's in-house. We did, that's been a lot of the stuff isn't public yet, so we've done a few of the foundational shares, but that is really an umbrella, that's trying to create a bit of gravity around this issue across a range of organizations. So I think which is a smart approach, and basically being able to empower a range of organizations to bring up that collateral material, the digital, everything from Instagram stickers to the gifts for WhatsApp. There's a whole range of stuff that we know where meeting people where they are. So as you would know really well, probably best is like, what is the what is the language of the day? What's the tools that work in 2020 and 2021? So that's always a challenge of although there's things that are timeless in communication, but also as a design team being able to stay relevant and know where people are, and trying to create that emotional connection through whatever is the most effective way at that time. But it's always growing, always learning. It's been a big year of learning for us as well. And one other kind of stream of that has been sharing. So we started a program called The Heart of Design, and it's been good to be able to kind of share with kind of some aspiring creatives and entrepreneurs and designers. What does this idea of heart-centered design or heart-aligned entrepreneurship look like? And it's the kind of thing Dustin, you and I and others have been talking about for some years, but I really went on a quest in the last few months to interview people about that, people of knowledge and learning. What do they think about these issues? And I've been chipping away at a book for the last probably 9 months on this topic, and really getting there, inshallah. So it's been a big year.
Yeah, so is that one of those things? I wanted to ask you about that because, of course, you started this heart-centric community, which is now a Slack group that has, mashallah, almost 900 global Muslim entrepreneurs and creatives on it. It's one of the really amazing global Muslim entrepreneurial communities. But then now to see your course launch is super exciting. So when do you hope to have the book out? Tell us more about the course. Where can people find it?
Yeah, thanks. Well, so if you just check out, my Instagram is usually the easiest place, at Peter Gould Art. But if you were to visit theheartofdesign.com, you'll see, inshallah, the next cohort will be in the first quarter. So we had over 100 students come through. It's a bit of a pilot experiment this year. Alhamdulillah, the feedback was great. The intention really is to keep serving, it's a really a range of people, but looking at people that perhaps through 2020 in particular, looking a bit more purpose and meaning and aligning their own kind of journey with the work they might be doing. And of course, it's a year where there's so much that you can do through our technology, our platforms, our communities, and we're a lot of us working remotely. So we've seen this real flourish of potential and excitement and creativity. So it's trying to create this practical stream of like, well, how do you launch a global brand remotely from wherever you are? Can you do it? How to think about getting traction and making something sustainable. But on the other hand, like, getting more clarity on your own spiritual aspirations and how these two things can link together. So it's really an ongoing experiment, and the book, inshallah, is at the heart of that kind of content. I hope it'll be done. I'm just going to say next year. So that gives me a full 12 months to actually launch it. But, I'm a few hundred pages in, and actual workable content from that is probably 100 pages, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see, inshallah. Make dua, bro. We need everyone's support. And it's been mainly in that. And what's been wonderful is learning from people that have been practicing and thinking about these ideas for some time. So the book's really not so much about my thoughts, but from a place of curiosity, what we should be working towards. What are the examples from the past in this space? And I think the work you're doing and the platform you're creating and this kind of event and all the people tuning in and all the people nominated for the awards and their teams really reflect this wonderful opportunity and energy that we have. So I really commend you, Dustin, for leading that and involving all of us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter. And with that in mind, obviously this book, and I really see it as your manifesto, that you're creating for the world. It's, you've created so much beauty and you've created such an example for the Muslim-centered design space. And now this book, inshallah, takes that, allows people to understand that the level of work you're doing, and you can take things to the next level. So what are your final words in terms of, what is your prayer for the future of the Ummah? And we pray, of course, for your tawfiq in finishing the book and your continued success, inshallah.
Ameen, mashallah. So I think whatever is the challenge or the opportunity for next year or the year after or what lies beyond, we don't know. But I think just for us to try and, work towards that place of gratitude, wherever we might find ourselves in the world, whatever we're working on, whatever we're not working on, whatever didn't go out, just to be, inshallah, be in that maqam of shakur, that place of gratefulness that, you're meant to be exactly where you are, and thinking about what you're working on, actually thinking about it's working on you as well. So being conscious of what you're trying to create and build and design, it has that looking at how it affects your state. So I share your dua, that we have a lot of beautiful work to do. We have a lot of problems to solve as well. So let's all work together, inshallah. And I can't wait to see how the festival goes, the events, the awards. And great to just be part of this global flourish of beauty and in intention to do good, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you again, Peter, and your studio for sponsoring the design and arts panels. We're super excited about, the possibility of what this thing is as we try to create a space to bring together artists and entrepreneurs and global social impact partners. I just think it's unique. We don't have this type of space in the Muslim community, and those of you that are supporting the event are laying the ground with us. And I want to send, final place of love to you is, mashallah, always your deep generosity and your thinking as an ecosystem builder, because that's what we need in this space, not to be competing with one another, but thinking about ways that we can build each other up. Otherwise, we're reflective of a worldview that isn't our own.
Yeah, I think well said. And one thing I always appreciate about you, Dustin, and your approach, since we probably hung out many years ago in Oakland or wherever, it was just that thinking, and you I think do a great job being able to articulate that, express the challenges, and then also build some of the places for addressing these issues well, and the conversations, I think, uniquely help people, have a gravity for those. So thank you. And it's been a blessing. So, Assalamu alaikum. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to chat.
Yeah. Thank you. Alaikum salam.